Hey people, so I wanted to do this video, and I've been thinking about it for a good while, about the concept of affirmative consent. Now, I'm going to do something a little funky here. I have my tablet down here, and I have my microphone right here, and I am going to ask the Google machine to define affirmative consent. Now, when I first did this, it just made me go, okay, here we go. Definition of affirmative consent.
According to Think Progress, the legislation, which was introduced as a direct response to the current sexual assault crisis on college campuses, defines consent as an affirmative, conscious, and voluntary agreement to engage in sexual activity every step of the way.
Here's the problem with that definition. First off, this concept that there is a crisis of sexual assaults on campus. There's not. Is there more sexual assault on campuses than there is in general public? Probably. But there's not a crisis. It is a manufactured crisis by people who are looking to get attention. In the thing I'm looking at here, which has a picture of a guy wearing a shirt called "Only Do It with Consent," guess what? I agree with that. Because here's the problem: the rest of the definition is utterly pointless. If you sit and you actually have a conversation with the person you're talking to about what it is you want to do, how you want to do it, and you have rules and guidelines already established prior to going in to play, then affirmative consent is useless. We're adults here, or we at least should be. Okay? You should be able to have an adult conversation about what it is you are about to do. I want, hey, what do you think of this? And we can talk and we can go back and forth and actually have a discussion like rational adults. Not sit here and go, is it okay if I touch your breast? Is it okay if I touch your butt? Is it okay if I look at your dick? Is it okay if I... First off, no one has sex like that. Nobody. Part of what makes sex great is the spontaneity. And at every step of the way, I'm about to go do something, I have to stop and go, hey, is it okay if I do this? Hey, I'm about to put my penis into your vagina. Are you consenting for me to do that? It makes no sense. None at all. And the thing about it is again, anybody who is going to rape is not going to follow consent regardless of what type it is. Whether it's a affirmative consent, whether it's an applied consent, whether it's a negotiated consent, whatever type of consent you are using, if they are going to just violate this concept, they're going to violate it. So trying to change the structure of how sex happens is just creating this thing that's going to make life no fun. If every time I have to get permission to do anything, it's going to ruin it. And also, what's the rules? What are the rules? Explain to me what the rules are. If I ask for permission to see your tits, the next time you put on a shirt and you take it off, do I have to ask permission again? Because according to this, yes, I do. Oh, I want to kiss you. Do I have to ask permission for every single time I want to kiss you? I want to kiss you 4 or 5 times in a row. Do I have to stop, kiss you? Can I kiss you? Yes, kiss. Can I kiss you? Yes, kiss. Can I kiss you? Yes, kiss. Also, who's doing the asking? Who's doing the asking here? Who's the person who it is on? It is responsible for asking. Do we have a definition? Is it just the man that has to ask, or is it just the woman who has to ask, or do they both have to ask? And if they don't ask, are they now culpable for assault and rape? So if I'm getting about if I'm with a woman and I she decides she wants to go down on me, but I did not give her affirmative consent to do that. Now going to be arrested for a sexual assault. Doesn't make much sense, does it? Not at all. It doesn't work in reality. It's one of these ideas that's great on paper, but when you actually put it into effect, it basically falls apart. Because what'll happen is you'll do it for a little bit and then just go with the flow. This is one reason why I am an advocate of safe words. Establish what you're thinking of doing, have a safe word in place, and then when you are ready to go and play, you know this is where I can stop. And if the person does not stop, they are now breaking the law. It's that simple. Here, it's completely open to interpretation. Oh, I thought she said yes, so that's why I did X, Y, and Z. It makes no. And also, how are you going to prove that you did get a yes? How are you going to prove that she did consent? Or he consented? Or they consented? I don't know what world you're living in. I don't know anybody who in their right mind who's going to go, hey, here's a laundry list of shit I want to do. Is it okay if I touch your breast? Yes, check yes. Is it okay if I do this? Check yes or no. If I do this, check yes or no. We're going to get to that point where the only way you're going to be able to have sex is with a piece of paper. Which, by the way, if you go all the way back to the beginning of when my channel, one of my very first videos was on slave contracts, and I made it very clear then, and somebody posted saying, oh no, they're completely legal. No, they're not. Because the thing about it is you cannot have a contract that it says that you have to do something of a sexual manner. And a piece of paper that says, yes, you can touch my tits, yes, you can touch my penis, yes, you can do this, and yes, you can do that, is not worth the piece of paper it's written on, because at any moment, at any second, the person can change their mind. And suddenly, that piece of paper is now worthless. This is not what affirmative consent should be. Affirmative consent should be, you've discussed it like rational adults prior to play, and now you can just go and play. Name me another activity in life where you do it this way. When you're playing any sport, you sit down prior to the game and you have a conversation like adults. And you work out what it is you want to do like adults. And then once you're done, then you go play. And then if there's a problem afterwards, you sit and talk about it. Hey, I didn't like this and that and this and that. And there's rules and guidelines, and this is where, if you go over this line here, then obviously you're committing a foul. Well, same here. You have rules and guidelines. This is what I can do. This is the level I can go. This is how I can do it. Why isn't that affirmative consent? No, what they want is this micromanaged little BS thing that says every little thing that you do, you are going to get permission from me. Makes no sense. A long time ago, I saw a video that showed this supposedly in action, and it was pathetic. It was pathetic. As somebody who does what I do in the lifestyle that I live, I am 110% about consent. You're not going to find anybody else on YouTube who has spent as much time talking about consent as me. Okay? 9 years, I have talked about this topic. And what I am noticing from this is people who have no idea what sex really is trying to impose a value system upon it. So, if you like one, if you like it, do it. But here's the thing: when it doesn't work, don't come crying to me. That's it for now. Be well and safe.